Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of EDT, Eau de Treasure. I'm Steven. This is the channel where I make videos about collecting rare, discontinued, vintage, and interesting fragrances where I live here in Japan because they are everywhere and easy to get. Stuff here is easy to get and it's in real high demand in North America and Europe. It's just a different world here and I'm living it up and I'm showing you things that I'm adding to my collection. So I've done a couple weird videos of fragrances that I think are odd, or there's a blind buy where I want to open it up and smell it, and this is another one like that, guys. So this is a car company, but I don't have any fragrances from this car company, so I can't vouch that this is a good car company, but I'm a big fan of the car company fragrances because I like the underdog. You know, they have a bad reputation. There are some YouTubers out there. I recently saw a YouTuber that said that car companies should stop making fragrances, and I disagree with that. I think that car companies should just make better fragrances, spend more money, and maybe have a higher budget with more quality ingredients. But we do have some awesome fragrances from car companies. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, let's open this one up and check out Cadillac Coupe. Another nice note on Cupcake Stationery. Thank you for buying this item, basically says. All right, let's take a look at this thing, guys. Cadillac Coupe. I looked on Fragrantica, and this is rated very highly. Granted, there's only 23 votes. This is rated a 4.35. So whoever rated this, those people really love this. So let's get into it. This is a 100 ml bottle. We know GM, so GM owns Cadillac, so this is basically a GM product, right? So they contracted this company to make a fragrance for them. On Fragrantica, I saw there are about 5 or 6 different Cadillac fragrances. Have you ever tried one? Here's a batch code. It says 13074. If that means anything to you. So this came out in 2012, and I'm going to read you off the notes of this one before I open it up and give myself a spray. This is a fresh, spicy, amber, woody fragrance with top notes of juniper berries, nutmeg, lime, and bergamot. And in the mid notes, you have lavender and patchouli. So far, pretty standard notes for a masculine fragrance, right? The base notes, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. You have Peru balsam, then tobacco, musk, vanilla, and amber. Sounds like a great fragrance. Fragrantica describes this Peru balsam as an intense, woody, coniferous, aromatic, ambery fragrance. Say that 5 times fast. So let's open this thing up and see what it smells like. According to the reviews, there's not a whole bunch. There's maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 reviews. But they are all, like, in love with this thing. Like, this is some kind of a hidden gem. It cost me 2,000 yen, or in other words, about $13. Let's see how it smells. Some of the reminds me of fragrances. It's really odd. The first reminds me of is CK1 Shock. And then the next one is Dior Homme Intense. They're not similar, so it's very strange. Let's check out the bottle. It's a nice looking bottle. It's kind of cool with the Cadillac emblem there. My dad used to drive a Cadillac, like a late 80s Cadillac. It was a big boat, and he loved that thing. So that's what this reminds me of. My dad's big Cadillac. Eau de Treasure. No, Eau de Toilette. 13074. Beauty Contact Ink. Made in USA. Okay. And then the Cadillac written in cursive but etched in the glass there. All right. Let's give a test spray. All right. Let me smell this thing. All right, my first impression on this, just my initial impression, right off the bat, It has this fresh, somewhat powdery fragrance to it. It does smell like a clean barbershop. It is that kind of a fresh barbershop type fragrance. Yep, slightly woody. The lavender doesn't stand out to me. Nothing really stands out to me. This is very well blended. Does it smell like CK1 Shock? Nothing like CK1 Shock. I'm very surprised. CK1 Shock has a sweetness to it. It has this really strong sweetness mixed with tobacco. This doesn't have that. Yes, I can also sense the tobacco. It's very light. So it's like everything in this is very light and mixed well together. So I can't speak on performance for this Cadillac Coupe here, but just on the initial impression is this is pretty nice. And it doesn't smell like anything high quality, but for $15, this is a steal. This is really fantastic. This is like a great entry-level fragrance for a guy that doesn't want to spend hundreds of dollars or have this hobby of having 100 fragrances. If he just wants one that works well all the time, I would say any time of year. It's a little bit light for cold winter, but yeah, this is really great because it's clean and it's masculine. And one of the comments on Fragrantica said this could be somebody's signature scent, and I don't see why not. I think it's really great, and it actually does smell like a car company fragrance in that it's mass appealing, it is masculine, it's not very high quality, but the price is pretty low. So these car brand companies, they do serve a purpose. They create these fragrances with brands that guys like. Guys like cars, right? I love cars. I've talked about car fragrances. I'm a big fan of the Ferrari line of fragrances, especially the Essence line. And when those came out, guys, remember, they were not expensive. They were around $25 to $30. They've been discontinued, and people like some of them so much that you have to spend $75, $80, or even $100 to get them now. Take a look at this car brand, Mercedes, right? I did a video about this one recently. This one's called The Move. And this was made by the same guy that made Paco Rabanne Invictus. And this is a really good Invictus clone. The performance is not the same. Of course, the original Invictus is the best one. But my point is, they're not that bad for the price. You know, I think I paid $10 for this. But I think the retail on this is like $25. And for $25, it's worth it. I think one of the best fragrance brands that is from a car company is Bentley. Bentley is fantastic. You guys know about this, right? Bentley for Men Intense. This, you hear about this ad nauseum in YouTube videos about the best fall and winter fragrances. And this one is a love or hate. I'm not going to get into it too much. I think I've talked about this one before. I like the regular Bentley for Men, and I would recommend the regular one if the Intense is just too overpowering, too strong. The regular one is sweeter, but it still has that woody, boozy vibe to it. And another hidden gem that, I think it's a hidden gem as far as a car company goes, is this one from Bentley. This one is called Infinite Intense. And this one is a lot like Terre de Hermes. And these car companies do spend a lot of money sometimes to get a quality fragrance made. This was made by Natalie Lorson. And Natalie Lorson she's a really famous, she has some really, really awesome fragrances on her resume. Talked about her before in my videos. This one, I forgot who, oh, she made this one too, I think, Bentley for Men Intense. So Bentley makes some awesome fragrances. This one smells a lot like Terre de Hermes. So this is Natalie Lorson's kind of her interpretation of Terre de Hermes. These Bentley fragrances are made by Lalique Beauty. And Lalique, if you guys didn't know, makes very high quality fragrances for low cost. You guys heard of Encre Noir? The Encre Noir line is very popular. They're not expensive. They're about $30 and they're pretty high quality. So there are a lot of great fragrances out there that car companies make. I think they should continue to make fragrances for men because these serve a certain type of customer that's not very serious about fragrances and is not a niche snob who hasn't smelled 1,000 different fragrances and dislikes these because of that. This is for the guy that just wants to spend $30 and have a decent fragrance. And some of these are really awesome. This Cadillac Coupe, if you can find this for $20 or less at your rack stores like TJ Maxx or Marshall's, I think it's a good buy at that price. It's fantastic. Doesn't smell like CK1 Shock, doesn't smell like Dior Homme Intense. I would just say this is a clean, powdery, barbershop type fragrance that is not overpowering and is just good for the casual guy out there that just wants to have a few fragrances or just one fragrance that would serve your purpose. That's it for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. If you like my content, why not subscribe down below? You can click my face in the corner of the video and leave me a comment. Have you ever tried any Cadillac fragrance? Have you tried this Cadillac Coupe? What do you think of it? Another strange fragrance that I'm trying on Eau de Treasure. And I'll keep doing some more of these if you guys like it. Let me know. See you in the next video, guys. Take care.